Welcome back again, Gooners. Arsenal were back on the training pitch on Monday morning as preparations officially began for Thursday night's massive Premier League clash against Liverpool at the Emirates Stadium. This came just 48 hours after the Gunners' dramatic 3-2 comeback win away at Bournemouth, a result that extended their lead at the top of the table to 6 points and further boosted confidence inside the camp. At the SAKA Realty Training Centre, the mood was positive and intense. Players who started at the Vitality Stadium focused on recovery and light ball work, while the rest of the squad went through a high-tempo session that included sharp passing drills, pressing exercises, and small-sided games. One of the biggest positives from today's session was Declan Rice, who trained fully after completing the full 90 minutes against Bournemouth. The midfielder looked sharp again, continuing the form that saw him score twice at the weekend, and he was heavily involved in ball-winning drills and build-up play during training. Gabriel Magalhaes, who also found the net on Saturday, was another standout. The Brazilian defender worked closely with the defensive unit, focusing on positioning and aerial duels, an important detail with Liverpool's attacking threat in mind. In attack, Arsenal's forwards were put through finishing drills, with quick movements, first-time shots, and combination play around the box. The intensity suggested Mikel Arteta is already demanding full focus ahead of what could be a title-defining fixture. After training, attention quickly turned to the injury situation, with Arsenal receiving mixed news ahead of Thursday. Kai Havertz was absent from the Bournemouth squad, but his omission was purely a precaution. The German was rested to manage his workload after returning from a lengthy injury, and all signs suggest he should be available for selection against Liverpool. There is less clarity around Riccardo Calafiori, who suffered a strange injury during the warm-up before the Brighton match. Mikel Arteta described it as something very awkward, and the defender remains sidelined with no clear return date yet. Young midfielder Max Daumann is facing a spell on the sidelines after picking up an injury last weekend. Arteta confirmed that scans showed he will be out for several weeks, meaning a return is expected around February. Meanwhile, Christian Mosquera also remains unavailable. When asked about his situation, Arteta confirmed that both Mosquera and Calafiori were still out, with no timeline given for either player's return. With the squad back in training and momentum firmly on their side, Arsenal now have just a few days to fine-tune their preparations before welcoming reigning champions Liverpool to the Emirates. Thursday night promises to be a huge test, and judging by today's session, the Gunners are fully locked in. Elsewhere at Emirates, Arsenal are reportedly preparing an ambitious move in the January transfer window, with Spanish outlet Fichajes claiming that the Gunners are ready to submit a formal offer for Real Madrid starlet Arda Guler. Mikel Arteta's side have enjoyed a brilliant first half of the Premier League season and currently sit 4 points clear of Manchester City at the top of the table, following City's draw away at Sunderland on New Year's Day. With the title race intensifying, Arsenal are believed to be exploring ways to further strengthen their squad during the winter window. According to the report, Arsenal are willing to test Real Madrid's resolve by proposing a loan deal with an obligation to buy, valued at around £69.6 million at the end of the season. The North London club see Guler as a player who could add both creativity and depth across multiple attacking positions. Guler's situation at Real Madrid has evolved significantly over the past year. While he struggled for consistent minutes under former boss Carlo Ancelotti, things have changed since Xabi Alonso took charge. The 20-year-old has featured 25 times this season, averaging around 65 minutes per appearance, underlining his growing importance in Madrid's setup. The Turkish international has also delivered in key moments. He has registered 3 goals and 7 assists across all competitions, operating mainly as a central or attacking midfielder. Guler is also comfortable playing off the right wing, a level of versatility that clearly appeals to Arteta and Arsenal's recruitment team. However, despite the reported interest, a January move looks extremely difficult. Real Madrid are unlikely to sanction the departure of a player who has become increasingly influential under Alonso, especially in the middle of a competitive campaign. Arsenal do have history with Real Madrid when it comes to loan deals. Both Martin Odegaard and Dani Ceballos arrived in North London on temporary moves, with Odegaard later joining permanently for just £30 million, a deal that has since proven to be outstanding value. That precedent may encourage Arsenal, but this situation feels different. Even if Madrid were open to a loan, Guler himself may hesitate. breaking into Arsenal's starting 11 would be far from straightforward, with Ødegaard and Bukayo Saka undisputed starters in the number 10 and right-wing roles when fit. In addition, Declan Rice is firmly established in the number 8 position, further limiting immediate opportunities for Guler to secure regular starts. From the player's perspective, staying at Madrid, where his role is growing, could be the safer option for his development. So Arda Güler would be an exciting and high-potential addition for Arsenal. The reality is that a January deal appears unlikely. Real Madrid's stance, competition for places at the Emirates, and the player's own ambitions all suggest this move may be one to watch in the future rather than this winter. In other news, Arsenal celebrate on the pitch. A major twist continues to unfold off it. Reports suggest Bournemouth star Antoine Semenyo would have chosen Arsenal as his first choice destination if talks had begun this January. However, the winger now looks set to join Manchester City, who are prepared to activate his £65 million release clause. At 25, the Ghanaian forward has been one of the standout performers of the season, already hitting 8 Premier League goals. According to reports, Semenyo grew up a Gunners fan and would have gladly picked Arsenal over City, but financial timing and strategy prevented a deal. Arsenal's big summer spending means any real move likely wouldn't have come until 2026, while Semenyo is determined to leave now and compete immediately for major honours. Liverpool and Chelsea also showed interest, while Manchester United pushed strongly, but City appear ready to close the deal swiftly. Martinelli's support for Jesus highlights Arsenal's strong team spirit beyond transfers. One of the most inspiring stories in the Arsenal squad comes from Gabriel Martinelli. The Brazilian forward has revealed how he emotionally and mentally supported compatriot Gabriel Jesus throughout his long ACL injury recovery. Jesus spent most of the year sidelined, admitting he experienced 300 bad days during his rehabilitation. Martinelli, who has gone through serious knee issues himself, stepped up as a supportive teammate, offering motivation, reassurance, and understanding throughout the journey. Despite being younger, Martinelli showed maturity and leadership, reminding everyone how close-knit this Arsenal squad truly is. Now that Jesus is back, both players will be hoping to make decisive contributions during this crucial final stretch of the season. Arsenal's 2-1 win over Brighton not only keeps their title dream alive, it highlights a squad full of belief, unity, and heart. Even with a potentially quiet January transfer window, the spirit inside Arteta's team may be the most powerful signing of all. With Aston Villa up next and trophies still within reach on multiple fronts, Arsenal look ready to keep pushing until the very end. Let's continue to previous updates with our journalist.
Arsenal are gearing up for another intriguing transfer battle as they find themselves competing with Chelsea for the signature of Juventus sensation Kenan Yildiz. Despite expectations of a relatively quiet January after heavy spending in recent windows, Arsenal are already preparing for future business, with eyes firmly on strengthening key areas ahead of the 2026 summer window. Sporting director Andrea Berta has been credited with assembling a strong squad, but there is still a belief inside the club that a few strategic additions could take Mikel Arteta's team to the next level. High on the agenda is the recruitment of a versatile forward capable of covering multiple attacking positions, particularly someone who can challenge Gabriel Martinelli on the left, while also adapting elsewhere across the front line. Arsenal are also assessing options in goal, with plans to bring in a promising young goalkeeper to increase competition behind David Raya and Kepa Arrizabalaga. According to reports, Juventus forward Kenan Yildiz has emerged as a major target. The Turkish star's situation in Turin is described as delicate, as he pushes for a significantly improved contract to reflect his rising status in Serie A. However, Juventus's hesitation to meet his demands has opened the door for Premier League clubs, with Arsenal and Chelsea both leading the race. Arsenal have reportedly made direct contact with Yildiz's agent, Jorge Mendes, and are ready to act swiftly if contract talks collapse. Yildiz is believed to be attracted by Arsenal's project, Arteta's coaching style, and the club's strong track record of developing technically gifted young attackers. Chelsea remain firmly in the mix as well, having already shown serious interest with a rejected €70 million bid last summer, while Juventus continue to value the player at around €90 million. Arsenal's interest in Serie A does not stop there. Reports in Italy suggest the Gunners are also monitoring AC Milan goalkeeper Lorenzo Torriani. The 20-year-old caught Arsenal's attention after a standout pre-season performance in which he saved 3 penalties against them. With limited first-team opportunities behind Mike Maignan, Torriani is believed to be open to a move, though Milan previously rejected a €10 million offer, meaning Arsenal would need to improve their bid. While talk continues around Arsenal possibly signing another striker, it is understood that the club still has faith in Victor GYKORES and does not currently see replacing him as a priority. Instead, attention will remain on securing a versatile forward like Yildiz and strengthening depth in goal. As things stand, Arsenal and Chelsea are watching developments closely, and the next few months will be crucial. Whether Juventus meet Yildiz's demands or open the door to a blockbuster Premier League move remains to be seen. But Arsenal are positioning themselves strongly should the opportunity arise. In other news, according to fresh reports, the club are willing to spend €45 million, which are round to £39.3 million, to secure one of League One's most highly rated young midfielders this winter, despite the player recently signing a new long-term contract with his current side. After an expensive summer window worth nearly £250 million, the Gunners were expected to have a quiet January. However, sporting director Andrea Berta remains attentive to strategic market opportunities, particularly those involving promising midfielders who could strengthen the squad's long-term structure. Sources suggest that Arsenal are actively assessing options, with young Elche talent Rodrigo Mendoza still on the list as a possible winter target. The club have also been heavily linked with Lile's rising star Ayoub Bouadi, who extended his contract until 2029. However, the extension is believed to be part of Lile's strategy to maximize any future transfer fee rather than guarantee a long-term stay. Arsenal and Chelsea are both reportedly willing to meet the €45 million valuation to secure his signature, although Lille are expected to hold out for offers exceeding €50 million in the summer. Bouadi has already amassed 72 senior appearances, breaking multiple club records at Lille and showcasing the maturity of a far older midfielder. Standing at 6 feet 1 inch, he offers versatility as both a number 6 and number 8, making him a natural fit for Arteta's tactical model. His ball-carrying ability, physical strength, and exceptional passing accuracy, particularly his 90.3% completion rate on long balls, ranking him in the top 1% of European midfielders, have made him one of the most coveted young players in France. With competition from Paris Saint-Germain, Manchester City, Liverpool, and Manchester United, securing Bouadi will not be straightforward. However, reports state that the strongest interest currently comes from Arsenal and Chelsea, setting the stage for a potential transfer battle between the London rivals. If Arsenal do manage to bring him to North London, Bouadi is viewed as a player who could one day step into the roles currently occupied by key midfield figures. His profile suggests he could grow into a long-term solution in Arteta's evolving engine room, learning from top-level leaders and eventually becoming a central figure in Arsenal's future midfield. On the other side,